Alright, I'm back to my general workhorse camera that does the bulk of everything. Because the other camera kind of has like a bubble effect, and you've seen the video I just put up talking about calf training and things, and it looks pretty funky. It's because of the bubble. I mean, I don't feel like shooting a video ever again. I don't care that I look like shit in the video, so, have fun with that. Right now, we'll do a little Q&A, but, yeah. God, that smells good. In case you're curious, those of you that are bourbon consumers, Elijah Craig, small batch. It's got a decent little sting to it. Dave King. To all our lost brothers, how about that? Let's put it that way. Or let's just say, yeah, this one's to all our lost brothers. That's who this one's to. David King, man. Rest in peace, brother. I miss you. It's not bad. Put that over there for safekeeping. Anyway, forgive me, but I'm going to have to don the cheaters so I can read this young feller's question. Hey Jim, I hope this message finds you well. We'll skip all that. It's all nice stuff, but you guys are probably bored to death. First question is regarding the carb drink I have pre-workout. I am on a tight budget and find myself not able to afford to keep buying tubs of Karbolyn. Okay, first, there you go. The next line, you're going to let me know of your source, and that is that you go to Vitamin Shop all the time. Hey, I like Vitamin Shop. However, we get a 30% discount. A 30% discount on all EFX products. Why do we get a 30% discount on all EFX products? Is it because I get a kickback? No, except that I get a lot of EFX products sometimes, and then what do I do with that? I give it all away. That's why I'm out of Karbolyn myself. But when I say a lot, I mean a lot. I mean, EFX has sent me cases and cases. I mean, filled up the whole porch front of the house full of products. I mean, that's a decent bunch of guys because they know I'm going to give it away. They give me like 100 shaker cups, which I gave away. I mean, they're just awesome people, man. But we can use Dr. Jeff Galini, Dr. Jeff's personal discount code, right? So this ain't one of those deals where I can tell you, hey, you want 15% off if you use our special code here, or 20% off, and then I get the other piece. No, I don't get any piece because I said, what's the best discount we can get that I can share with everybody? I don't need a piece of it. What's the best deal? Best deal is 30% off. So we all get 30% off. All you bastards, and me too, we all get 30% off for no other damn good reason than that EFX likes what we do. And they're awesome. They're awesome company. There are a few good companies out there like that. Anyway, your code is, you go order offline. It's always going to be cheaper getting it online. Go to EFX Supplements, go to their site, their website. Order your EFX products there. Get your Karbolyn there. It's patented. It's the only place you can get it. And you put the code in when you check out, Dr. Jeff 30. That's it. DRJEFF 30. And you get 30% off. It's been that way. The code's been in effect. We've been having it for a long time. But there's no sleight of hand or no trickery. That's why you don't, I have mentioned it a couple times in the past, well over a year, but it's always there. It's active. You can do that, man, because we use so much Karbolyn. Okay, let's continue onwards. So it's always cheaper online. And on top of that, we can use Dr. Jeff's code because EFX is such an awesome company and they're so considerate, literally. So there you go, 30% off, get your Karbolyn. There's nothing else like it. So he's on a tight budget. Find myself not able to afford to keep buying tubs of Karbolyn. So I have recently changed to another source that was much more cost effective. It is called Carbogain. I know what that is. And the brand is NOW. Now, to be honest, I went with this option because it was one of the only other options the Vitamin Shop near me has available, but also because I know the Now brand of arginine is your shit, which it is, So I figured the company itself may not be half bad. No, it's an awesome company, awesome products. I want to know if you have had any experience with this particular supplement and what you think the best, most cost-effective carb supplement is. I find this product to be a little bit inferior to the Karbolyn, but I'm satisfied with it because the container lasts me about 2 months, where Karbolyn only lasts about 3 weeks and is actually slightly more expensive. Yeah, just like you said, that it's a little bit inferior to the Karbolyn. It certainly is. It's definitely inferior to the Karbolyn. Now's an awesome company. There's just it's not, not saying anything against that company. I think they're a great company. I love their L-arginine. I think it's the best out there. But I'm very particular. L-arginine is basically L-arginine, right? But their L-arginine is better. Don't ask me why. I can use the same amount, weigh it out even gram for gram. Their L-arginine just is better. It just works better. It digests better, more completely. It's just better. It's even finer. It's just better. It's a superior product. And that's how I feel about Karbolyn. Karbolyn, the only place you're going to get it is EFX, and it's a superior product. And I have tried everything. Over the years, I've been doing this approach for God knows how many years, decades. And there's never been anything. As the years have progressed, the carb sources have gotten better and better and better and better. And Karbolyn now is the apex. That's the pinnacle, and there's nothing that can touch it. Right now, that's the shit. It is the shit, and I don't even know if it can get better. I mean, that's how good that is. That thing is just incredible. It's incredible, and yeah, it's pricey, but that's why you go and get it off of EFX Supplements site, and we get 30% off. So, we're not paying top dollar for our Karbolyn. We're getting it at a really good discount anyway. That's what you should be doing. Karbolyn is the shit, man. And I have used that. I've used the Waxy Maize. I've used the Vitargo. I've used, there's a bunch of different shit. Vitargo. You don't want to switch from Karbolyn to Vitargo. If you were to do that, it's like a brick in your stomach at Vitargo, man. Tell you what, leave some Vitargo. Those of you guys out there believe in Vitargo, here's a challenge for you. Leave your Vitargo, mix it up like you normally would, but don't drink it. Just sacrifice that one to science. And sit it on the counter and leave it sit there and come back tomorrow and look at it. Looks like cement. Looks like quick setting cement. Yeah. That's going in your stomach. That's why it feels that way. So that answers that question. That's why it feels that way. If you don't think it feels a little bit messed up, try Karbolyn and see how awesome that feels, how smooth that is, how gentle that is, and how incredible it is, right? So out of everything I've tried, Waxy Maize, Vitargo, Torrent, I've tried them all. Celtec even. Celtec worked. But that is some crappy sugar, but it does the job. It spikes the insulin and it feeds it. So it's a decent driver. It's a good source for glycogen, and it's a good, it generates the insulin spike and drives everything, gets it where it needs to be, but it's still not Karbolyn is the apex. But it's still far better than when I first started out using, what the hell was that shit? Carb Fuel or whatever it was, Carb Fuel by American Bodybuilding, ABB. That shit was like syrup. Yeah, that was, I can't talk shit about these other companies and products because they worked. I escalated, and now I'm at the Karbolyn, and the Karbolyn is perfecto. Anyway, any insight on other quality products that are less expensive than Karbolyn? Well, really, I don't have any insights to offer you on products less expensive than Karbolyn, bro, because, let me think. To tell you the truth, if I don't have Karbolyn, then I just turn it into an experiment, cycling off the Karbolyn, which I don't really care to do. But if I don't have any Karbolyn, I just train without anything. I don't even try to mimic it. The only other thing I might do is I might go with some honey pre-workout. But you're not going to get any sustaining bang out of that. And you're not going to fill up any glycogen with that. It's just not enough of anything. It's I didn't even measure my insulin and try it. That's how, how insincere I am about it. I'll take a little bit of it. Honey's good for me anyway. So, I'll have a couple spoonfuls of honey before I go to the workout, if I don't have Karbolyn. Or I try to use white potatoes. Now, there's a video on here where I covered that pre-workout. I tried the white potatoes and I measured my blood sugar level. And, for all these foods that are so insulinogenic, right? They're still, yeah, okay, they are, but not at the extent we need it. You're not getting any. Bodybuilders use insulin for a reason, right? So if you're going to mimic that effect, which you can completely mimic that effect, but you need a sincere insulin spike, a real one, right? You ain't gonna get that with the white potatoes. You're just not. You're just not. You're not. The insignificant amount of insulin it's going to release over a period of time, if you ate like nothing but white potatoes, along with copious other amounts of food all day long, would it contribute, to maybe making you overweight? I guess maybe would raise your blood sugar level in a detectable amount. If you were an inactive person, didn't work out, hey, maybe, I don't know. I would like to see it proven, but I could buy into that possibility. Like the white rice over brown rice thing is the white rice is going to be more insulinogenic. But to no real degree, not from our perspective, okay? Don't get confused. Shit that out of shape people, lethargic, inactive people need to be concerned with, and what we need to be concerned with, because they're two wholly different endeavors. Our bodies are totally different, and we go completely, we complete the cycle all the time. That's why you can Karbolyn like that and all this stuff. You're not going to have problems with high blood sugar. You're not going to become diabetic, or any of that kind of nonsense, or even resist it. I check my blood sugar levels. I'm super healthy. I get up and check it first thing in the morning. I'm always below 90, So it's a whole different ballgame for what we do, because we complete the cycle. We wring out that glycogen, liver glycogen and muscle glycogen every time. So we're always putting it in, bringing it out, and filling up with what we put in. Putting it back in, restoring it, bringing it back out, restoring it, so we're not just dumping it in like people do. Like people that are, just sit around and are inactive, and just overweight people that are unhealthy. They keep putting those carbs in. They keep putting that shit in, sugars and carbs, sort of spiking the insulin to drive the shit, but where's it going? You're already full. They're already way spilled over. They're just full because they don't work out. They never burn it up. It's like going out to the car and keep putting, 8 gallons of gas in every single day. Eventually, quickly, the tank's going to be full, and then you're still going to try and cram another 8 gallons of gasoline in there, a day. You haven't driven the car anywhere. It's going to make a mess. It's going to make a sloppy mess, and that's what it does. You end up being a sloppy mess if you do that to your body. But we're not in that category, right? So we can do things that those people cannot do. It's wholly two different things. So back to your actual question, what can you use other than Karbolyn? Well, the best answer I can give you is to go to EFX Supplements website, get the real deal, get the Karbolyn, and use the code Dr. Jeff 30, get 30% off the Karbolyn. That's the cheapest way to do it. That one almost went down the wrong pipe. That would have bit hard. But what else could you do? It's a big conundrum there, because you need the simple carbs or sugars to generate the spike. Then you have to have the material to fill and replace glycogen. All right? And that's where you got to realize what you're doing. I mean, hell, you can generate an insulin spike with fructose, right? But, all sugars are not the same. You can generate an insulin spike with fructose, with enough fructose. But can you use fructose for glycogen? Nope. No. Sorry. Do not pass go. You don't get paid. You don't get that pump because you can't get that. You can't use fructose for glycogen. It's the one sugar you can't use for glycogen. So lots of fruits and shit like that, and fruit juices, all this kind of crap. You know, though they may have other sugars besides fructose in them, you know, they may have glucose in there as well as fructose. How much is what? And they have fructose. What's going to become of the fructose? You know, so you know, I eat it and all that, and I like it. It's good. It's healthy. You need a wide variety. You need fruits. You need all that shit. But you know, for a pre-workout, if you like it, go ahead and eat it. But I mean, it's not going to hurt you, but it's not going to enable you either, you know, to do what you need it to do. No, it won't. So you need a sugar that's not only going to generate that insulinogenic response to that degree, like a big insulin spike, healthy, and it also has to serve the purpose that when the insulin comes on the scene, it can utilize that to restore glycogen, to replenish glycogen that you're burning off. Would a candy bar work? Sure it would. Would just regular table sugar work? Sure it would. Now here's the problem there. People think that table sugar is horrible for you. You know, it is horrible, but everything, you gotta keep things in perspective and realize who we are versus who the non-working out, lethargic, inactive public is that's just laying around on a sofa stuffing their face with Cool Ranch chips, right? You have to be able to differentiate between the two categories. We're not those people. We're different. Our bodies work differently because we work our bodies. And for us, yeah, white sugar, refined sugars, yeah, they're bad, you know, but they're not good. But they will generate the insulin response. They can be used to restore glycogen, but the problem is it's not enough of it. Okay, if you need 75 grams, that's starting point. That's generalized amount to incite the insulinogenic response that you need, the level and the extent of the response that you need. That's what they give you. You go get tested for diabetes, or you go get tested for desensitization, or you go get tested for just to see how you respond and manage sugars, blood sugar levels. They're going to give you 75 grams, and they're going to give you 2 hours to dispense with that for your body to manage that. Which for us, we can crash that 75 grams in an hour if you train hard enough. I can crash the shit out of it in an hour. So we're different. You know, they're talking about sitting around your ass. Can you dispense with it in 2 hours? So a whole different thing here. But if you go, since we want 75 grams, figure out 75 grams out of sugar. If you just use table sugar, that's a shitload of sugar. That's a boatload of sugar. I challenge that you can't consume that much sugar. You'll be throwing up. That's a lot of sugar, man. We ain't talking like big tablespoons of sugar. We're talking much more. Half your damn shaker cups could be sugar or better. Yeah. I mean, you go pick up a candy bar. You want 75 grams of sugar? Okay, pick up the sweetest candy bar you can find. Read on the back how much sugar's in there. Ain't nowhere near 75 grams. You know, so that's the thing there. So it's hard to say what else you could do. The only other thing you could do is just like the old school way that we used to do, and it works. It's just, you know, fill up with get your pre-workout meal in there and try to load up with, decent quality carbs, white rice even. You're not going to get enough of an insulinogenic response out of white rice to cause you any, to be of any significance. We're not regular inactive people. And then once, if your timing is good, then prior to going to the gym, you come up with some quick, simple sugar that's going to give you the insulin spike, and hopefully you're going to have enough carbohydrate reserves to be able to reload the glycogen. But you're not going to get the same effect. You're not going to, the timing, there's no way that you could get that right. It's too much to do. You're not going to get that super saturation effect. The effect you get with that Karbolyn, and then you got to open everything up to make it happen. So that's why I use the beetroot powder and I use L-arginine. And the L-arginine mainly that's really to keep your plaque down. That's really to keep your cholesterol down. That's really to keep you from turning into, you know, or experiencing early senility and shit, right? Because those are small capillaries feeding the brain. If you can develop enough plaque to be a problem in an occlusion, in these arteries, just imagine these small capillaries. What's plaque doing there? We think plaque just goes one place, right? What a restriction to blood flow going to do there? That's where all your dementia is coming from today. That's where it's all coming from, in my opinion, or a lot of it. So that's why the allergy. I don't have any fucking plaque. I've already been completely checked. I've been checked with the catheter all the way up into my heart and looking in there. And they're like, Jesus Christ, you don't even fucking have any plaque. It's unbelievable. Well, something happened. Gotta keep looking, but ain't plaque. So anyway, I don't know what to tell you other than just get your old school pre-workout meal in there and load the carbs in, and then directly pre-workout gets you something in there, generate a spike, and that's gonna be your best way to go. But I mean, you can fall back on. You can use the carb supplement that you have, and as you've noticed and as you admitted, it falls a bit short. It does. It's not Karbolyn. That is about as best as it's gonna get. Everything's gonna work. That's actually probably one of your best bets. Now I don't know. Hopefully that's going to generate enough of an insulinogenic response. I don't know. I would test it. Anything that I use, actually, if I'm not concerned, I'm going to test it with a glucose meter because they're inexpensive. And if you're really going to go down this road and you're really trying to put as much size on as possible and you want to, be lean and every other thing, you really need to know what your blood sugar typically does, how your body behaves and reacts to foods. That's really important. And that'll help you, and that'll be useful to you as you age to develop really good habits that you just instinctively know how to eat. Because you're better educated and better informed, and you're more familiarized with your body, its reactions and behaviors in relation to nutrition. Yeah. So I don't know if that answered that question. And your other question, I'll email you back about. Maybe not tonight, bro, because I'm going to have another shot, and then I'm going to go sit my ass down and watch some TV before I got to go to bed. I start back to work soon. Anyway, that's it, folks. I hope I answered your question, brother. I would guess I would stick with the Now product, the NOW that you're using, if that's more affordable, but I don't think it is any more affordable. It's not as good as the Karbolyn. And I challenge that if you go to the website and you buy it directly that way and you use the code and get 30% off, Christ, Karbolyn will probably end up being cheaper.